Okay, we're on.
We're on. All right, Gypsy.
Hello, Marco. So, I wanted to do this video to talk about spiritualism
Oh, yeah.
because Marco's been with me for pretty much all my journey.
Yeah, that's right.
Every bit of
Every bit of it.
and he still doesn't know what's going on. And it's okay.
It's okay. I've appreciated every moment of it.
Yeah. No, through all the ups and downs, it's been quite a crazy path to go through. And quite a lot of people come into it through different paths of enlightenment. And it's not so much like you're enlightened, like you know everything after that. It's you just kind of stumble around and figure it out, you know. And eventually you come to the conclusion that you're just here to remember how your light and your positivity changes things around you. That's what I've enjoyed about it. So
take us from the beginning. How did it start? Yeah.
crazy story. It was about the time that I met you. So when I was coming to Atlanta, and I was recently getting out of a relationship, and I had lost a friend of mine too. So I was really distraught, trying to figure out what to do next. Really wanted to make things happen in my life, and I just couldn't do it because there was a lot more going around in my heart and in my spirit and in the universe that was calling me to a different road. And I didn't know that for a long while. I had to really learn different kind of lessons to figure that out.
Yeah.
And so through the incidences that I went through, which we won't go fully into,
Right.
I became better at communication with myself, and but I had to experience a lot of things to notice that I was being called to a different road, and there was more things that were going on that I could really explain, like more than I could explain, and because when the universe is calling you to a different path, it'll start realigning you to different areas by way of these terrible things happening. And we seemingly terrible.
Right.
Now, looking back now on it, it was all good things that happened to get me to my point where I am now. So it was all like realignment. And
It was a journey that brought you to where you needed to be.
exactly. So I can look at things from a positive aspect instead of a negative one. And I can look at the people that have passed over or crossed over or whatnot, just helped me get through my alignment process and back into my heart, and really just able to navigate life better after that. So it's like a bittersweet beginning, and it's just crescendoed to a beautiful point in my process right now to get me to the people that I'm with now, to my metaphysical school that I go to, and my alignment process, and to my beautiful soul tribe that I kind of hang around with, and we learn about how to do things through we call it pi of equation, because when you're using quantum science in the quantum fields, and it's through all that you learn to navigate your feelings, your emotions, and how to use them through balance, through balancing your life. And if you get into spiritualism, you'll hear a lot about chakras.
Yeah.
And each one of them kind of do different things for you. And it's a lengthy process into each one of the chakra systems. But anyway, back to our original question of how I ended up here was through my alignment process. And I started with heavy meditation, navigating myself, learning that, I am not who I think I am. And Marco, from an outside point of view, looking in, it might seem, okay, she believes this and believes that, but no, it's not just a belief. It's more of a knowing now. It's really just, it's a process of just like opening different parts of your mind and expanding into different possibilities and perceptions of what you've been able to perceive of the world, and coming into like this unique perspective of being outside of the bubble, instead of, oh, it's like this or like that. It just is, like something just is,
Sorry.
Bless you. So yeah.
On your social media, you put very positive messages on there, for people. Yeah. So talk about that. Like what inspired you to start sharing or trying to encourage others to.
Oh my gosh. So what started that process is that when I started really connecting with my my inner positivity, my inner self, which is what we call the inner child. The inner child is a process of you being at this most innocent level of your being. So like the child that you always wanted to be inside of yourself, being, and just playing, having fun, laughing, enjoying life, not worried about pretty much anything, no responsibilities. But it's more than that. You have responsibilities and discernment, right?
Right,
right. As adults, we have to pay our bills and stuff. But we look at it from an inner child perspective. Like, we're not worried about it, right? Because everything you need is just right there for you all the time, at every point. And the universe is always going to provide that for you when you ask for it, when you're doing this process of asking and listening to your higher self, which is the highest aspect of you, is the higher self. It's kind of leading you to your path and what you need. So if you're always in alignment with your higher self, your inner child, you're always going to get that process, right? You're always going to have that available for you. So through the inner child, I learned to really heal that part of myself and bring myself back into the inner child to where I'm not worried about anything. I'm not really worried about situations in my life because everything works out no matter what. It really does. It's a unique perception. Like I said, it's that pulled back perception of everything else is just going to align you to what you need, or it's going to test your ability to stay balanced in every moment.
Okay, so it's not just passive. I mean, it's a process.
Yeah, it really is. So my idea about posting my positivity and positive things on the internet is just to give people a unique perception of how I feel about myself and about the inner child, and knowing that they can always connect to that part of themselves and just be the inner child and have that that place, that safe place. Because inner children, they're around their mom, they're around their dad, they're always feeling safe. They're not shy. Some of them aren't shy. If they are, they just they just don't know you, or like that. But they're always feeling safe in that space, and that inner child space always gives you that that point of just safety within yourself, because kids they kind of know themselves. They know what they love, and they know what they want to go grab, and they see a little red fire truck and they're just going to go grab it, right? So yeah, that part of my positivity journey is just about getting to play with that fire truck every day.
I love that because as a child, you have the world is new and you want to go out there, explore everything and experience everything, and
so it's just
very freeing.
Yeah, it really is. It's very, very freeing. Freeing. Yeah, it's a word that I love to use is about sovereignty. Sovereignty is a beautiful word that you. I mean, it from the depths of yourself, your sovereignty is where you are. It's who you are. It's like you're a sovereign being, so you're not allowing things to bother you too much because you know every part of your life is safe and secure. As long as you're connecting with your higher self and your inner child, and yeah, you always have that sovereign space to come back to.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like you mentioned earlier, I've been with you on this journey from the beginning, and I've witnessed just such an extraordinary transformation.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just so much more vibrant and social, and
Yeah, thank you. It's taken a lot, and yeah, you've been through a lot of that stuff with me. Around the parts where I really had to isolate myself just to get my energy correct and get back into balance. And, there's points where I've had to just lay on the bed and just cry and let myself have it and come back into my safety point, and then talk to people the next week or the next day and be like, okay, well, I just wasn't in a place to be able to chit chat with you today. But what I love about you, Marco, is you have given me that safe space, like that space just to be, right? And to just do whatever I needed to do to get my energy right and to get back into balance. And you've been like a constant, just right there whenever I needed to call or...
you're making me blush.
No, really.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was. I certainly wasn't thinking of that because when I met you, you seemed like this absolutely beautiful soul, and
Yeah, that was a crazy point when we had just met. Yeah, I was hiding a lot of depression. I was hiding a lot of myself because I didn't know myself. I didn't know that there was this road I was going to meet and this path I was going to go on. So there was a lot that I was hiding, and I was really trying to get back to because I didn't know what was going on at the time. I didn't know there was a bigger picture in store. And yeah, pretty much after I left Atlanta and went back home, that's kind of when everything started to get pretty insane.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I'm glad we stayed connected all these years.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's been interesting, hasn't it?
And hopefully we'll be taking another journey soon. With because this is sort of the beginning of the next chapter of your spiritual journey.
Yeah, it really is. I'm really hoping to do this documentary film trip with you. This coming up next year.
Yeah.
It's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting.
I love spiritualism. It's my life. It's my alignment. I mean, and that's just a part of me that I always want to share with people. If I'm not like sharing the subject of how I feel inside or helping people get aligned inside themselves, what am I doing?
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. What would you say is one of your most awakening moments, or moments where you're like, this is all starting to make sense now?
Oh my gosh. So I guess there's a point, let's see, in January 2022, when people call it the Kundalini awakening, right? So that's when your energy is just at a point where it's coming up to align with all of your chakra points. And that's when the journey gets really crazy for you. You start coming into more clarity and more expansion and more perceptions of who you thought you were or think you are. So I had a huge exploration moment in January of 2022. And I was always looking for a group or a school that I could go to learn more about this. And I was always searching for my tribe, always searching for people. I knew there was people out there for me, and I was just waiting for the universe to align me to that moment. So I kept doing my meditation. I kept going up in, my what I felt like different levels of myself. Like I was, breaking barriers past what I thought I could do, especially in my healing moment, in my healing journey. So I was sailing through my life. I was very, very happy at that point because it was, I was doing my meditation and alignment every day, and so I was very happy. In February, that was a big, big moment too. I had like just, I don't know, just huge clarifying moments that I knew something was coming. I would have visions of people coming into my life, visions of my now mentor. I was having dreams of my now mentor, which was weird for me. It was kind of weird. So I just waited for those moments to come. And then finally, in April 28th of 2022, that's when I met Andrew Weston. We call him the General. It's just nicknames that we come into ourselves, through our journeys. And through my journey, too, I changed my name from Lauren to Gypsy.
Which really suits you.
Yeah. But General is the space-time creator. He's the creator of the metaphysical school that we go to. That moment that I met him was grand. Man, it was great. And so he does the activation process, which brings you more clarity, and then you start going to a school. So in all those times when I had those dreams, after the activation process, for about 2 weeks, I was having these callback moments, of the dreams that I've had were finally aligning to this moment, or the visions that I came into were finally coming into that moment and stuff. So in general, what Andrew Weston does is just bring you into more alignment with yourself, and the vast amount of consciousness that you come into is more about aligning yourself even more with your inner child, and giving yourself more of that sovereign freedom point in your life too. And people that awake to that sense of themselves and start going on that journey know that there's a point in their life that they're going to come into a group or a metaphysical team that they're going to meet and stuff like that. And so that was that moment for me, was when I got to meet my team and come into just a bunch of people that just loved beyond duality and like beyond anything that you could ever love, because it was unconditional. And what we give and what we receive is just the most unconditional love that you could find out there. And so yeah, I'm very grateful for my mentor and what he's done and what he's been able to kind of give and receive. And so yeah, that's a very big defining moment. Yeah.
What is your message for this week that you want to put out into the universe?
Stay as balanced as you can. It's all about balancing yourself through your emotional capacity. So making sure that you're not over emotional in one direction. Like even being way too excited can really offset a lot of things in your life too.
Interesting.
Yeah,
you wouldn't think that.
It's expectation though. You see this expectation, right? And you're so excited about it, and you're forming more visions around about this expectation coming up, and then all of a sudden you get to that moment, and then things are like, okay, so that wasn't exactly what I was seeing. Still exciting, but
manage expectations.
Yes, so manage that balance and manage how high you feel, but bring that into a balanced location. So you're not overly excited and you're not like underwhelmed or You're like, oh, you're not looking for something to go wrong either. So you're just in that space of it just is what it is in
That's what
this
it
moment
is.
right here.
And you appreciate the moment.
And you appreciate every moment for what it is. And yeah, so staying balanced within any situation, not getting overly excited, not being underwhelmed, and just staying balanced. Yeah, that's my message this week because that's kind of what I've been learning.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen you living your life that way, so
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna probably do more of these. So
Hope so.
yeah, exactly.
That
So
would be awesome.
thank you, Gypsy.
Thank you, Marco. I really appreciate it. This has been really great.